What's going on, everybody? I just want to let you all know that this is another early access podcast. So if you want to support me as a creator, if you want to watch the videos early or listen to the audio before anybody else, head over to patreon.com/Chandler Burton Entertainment. Again, that is patreon.com/Chandler Burton Entertainment. There is a $1 tier, a $3 tier, and a $5 tier. Join the lowest tier for $1 will give you early access to podcasts, early access to videos, and a whole bunch of other perks, and it really does go a long way in supporting me here as a creator. So again, if you do like what you see, there's always going to be a link in the description on my YouTube channel, or again, type in patreon.com/Chandler Burton Entertainment, and it'll take you directly to my page if you listen to this on the audio. I want to thank Dylan Daley so much, the vocals of Execution Day, for coming on and having a conversation with me here. Really cool guy, really great up-and-coming band, so make sure you keep an eye out for them. They are awesome. Again, thank you all so much for your ongoing support, and I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Chandler Burton Podcast.
You're listening to the Chandler Burton Podcast. Turn it up to 11 and rip the knob off. This is Chandler Burton.
All right, my friends. Well, welcome back here to the it's been 61 episodes, dude, of the Chandler Burton Podcast. I'm your host, Chandler Burton.
No,
yeah, dude. And so today, super excited to talk to this awesome guy here. We have Dylan, who does the vocals in a band called Execution Day. How you doing, my man?
Good, man. How are you doing?
Dude, I'm doing good, thank you. Did you have a good day today? I know you were in the studio doing some music stuff, so hopefully you had a pretty good day.
Yeah, I mean, dude, it's always a good day in the studio.
Yeah, man.
It's where I thrive, you know what I mean?
Yeah, dude, that's awesome. And yeah, I'm super excited to kind of dive into like your journey. Like I have so many questions I want to ask you and stuff. And it's cool. Like we actually became friends through our other friend, Dylan. I don't know if you talk to him much anymore, but I talk to him on a regular basis. So he kind of introduced
me. It's been a minute.
Yeah.
It's been a minute since I talked to Mr. How you say his last name? Escudero?
Yeah, you got it right. Dylan Escudero.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Super cool guy. Yeah, he's I talk to him often. So yeah, it's funny. He actually sent me your song Hollow, and he's like, dude, you might actually like this song. You know, I knew this guy in the MTC, and I was like, oh, that's actually really sick. And so I was like, I listened to a part of it. I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna do a reaction to it here. And dude, I gotta say, man, that sounded really well for my channel, dude. I just want to let you know. I know it sounded well. Yeah, I know that sounded pretty well for you guys too, like watching it like climb and stuff. So I know like I think Telly from The Word Alive checked it out, and a few other people checked it out. So
yeah.
That must have been really good, man.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. I mean, Telly from The Word Alive. I forget his name, but the screamer from Oceano, I believe it was.
Oh,
our bass player,
Adam Warren. Yeah.
It follows him on Twitch, and he like sent him the link, hoping he'd check it out, and he like did it on his Twitch live stream and was like digging it. So
dang, dude, it
was pretty cool. Yeah,
that is really cool, man. I couldn't imagine like a cool artist like checking out your stuff. So that's like super cool. So yeah, man. Dude, that's super awesome. But yeah, thanks again for making some time. I know that you're in your hotel room right now, and I know you've been recording some music. So yeah, dude. Yeah, all good, dude. All good, man. So let's go on and dive in, dude. Again, excited to get to know you and excited to just kind of get to know the band a little bit more. So tell us just a little bit about you, dude. Just tell us, like, not even like with music, like, tell us about yourself, what you're comfortable with, like, what do you do, like, besides like music, like, what are some of your hobbies? I know you got a family, so it's like whatever you want to dive into, dude. So yeah, I'll give the floor to you for a little bit.
I don't know. I mean, my life's just, average, whatever. At this point, I'm 29.
Nice. Same age.
Execution Day's been around now for like 7 years. I've been doing music for like 15 or so.
Wow.
Been in and out of, cover bands in high school and other projects that we, tried to take seriously and didn't really get anywhere with it. But, this is the first one that really, we put, pedal to the floor and just really tried to make this thing happen. So
sick, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really good at talking about myself. If you ask me questions, I'll answer them well. But
no, dude, I totally get that. I'm one of those people too, where it's like, yeah, if you like give me the questions, I will definitely do that. But yeah, dude, do you work at all, or is music like your main thing right now? Or I know that must be hard doing both if you do work. So
yeah, I work full time. I deliver packages for FedEx right now.
Gotcha.
So
yeah, man,
it's been tough, like juggling both. You know, obviously, like taking care of a family and making sure that I give enough time to the band that it needs, you know, because it's not a part-time thing. Like, to get it to go somewhere, it's got to be full-time.
Yeah, man.
So I work there currently. I've been there for 3 years, and it's not my dream job, but it pays the bills. So
I feel that, dude. But hopefully, you know, when you keep going with this, I mean, I've seen it before. Like, hopefully, Execution Day will get you to the point where like this can be like your thing. So like, I know that's like really hard to do, but it seems like you guys have a really like a lot of motivation, a lot of passion behind the music, which is really cool. Definitely shows in the song. So I really think you guys will go somewhere, and I'm excited to see, you know, when you guys really take off. Like, super stoked for you guys. Like, the music is great, so that's another thing too. So that's super sick, dude. Yeah, man.
That.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, I feel you, dude. Like, I was in one band in high school. It didn't really go anywhere. We have like one old song like on YouTube, and like I've been doing music nowadays, but it's like, yeah, looking back at your old stuff, you're like, oh my gosh, dude, like this is it's just cool. Like I know, you're like, oh my gosh. But did you always do vocals, or did you do like guitar or bass or anything like that? Or
so I mean, every band I've ever been in, I did guitar. That was like, I mean, that's one of my first instruments. In high school, I started playing trumpet. That was like my first real instrument.
Yeah, I feel that.
And you know, Guitar Hero came out around that time. I was in middle school, and you know, guitar was like this thing that was like, oh, dude, you're only cool if you play guitar, you know. So I kept like asking my parents, like, can I get a guitar? Can I get a guitar? Like, I want to learn guitar. And they're like, you just started playing trumpet, like, do this for a couple of years and we'll see what happens, you know. So, you know, I started playing trumpet at like 12 or 13, and like by that time, I got my first guitar at 15, and mostly self-taught. I mean, that was just, you know, and then honestly, like, people, you know, take a dump on Guitar Hero for like, oh, it doesn't help you learn real guitar and stuff, which like it doesn't in essence, but I mean, dude, my hand was already conditioned for playing. Like whenever I started playing, you know, there's stuff that other people would struggle to like get chords and stuff, and my hand muscles were like pretty conditioned for it. So I mean, I give a lot of credit to Guitar Hero, honestly.
That's what's up, dude. You know what's funny, dude? We're gonna mention this game, and a lot of people that watch us may have no idea what that is, because you and I are the same age, so we grew up like with Guitar Hero or like Rock Band and stuff. And dude, I gotta tell you, man, those were the best Christmas gifts, dude. Every time I got Guitar Hero, I was like, those were the. I remember I got Guitar Hero 3 for like the Wii, and I was like over the moon, dude. I was like, this is the greatest game of all time, dude. Yeah, I love Guitar Hero, man. Yeah, I know I don't play guitar or anything, but yeah, man, definitely was a lot of work. That game's not easy, especially on expert, dude. So I mean, it's no, I know it's a tough song.
Well, oddly enough, I was in a competition, in a Guitar Hero competition, and like, I was like 8th grade. And it was on expert, and I got 3rd place in that competition. So, dude, that's a little nerd stat. Not many people know that, but you know,
I love that, dude. Dude, what was if you remember offhand, what was your favorite song to play on Guitar Hero? Like, it could be any of the Guitar Heroes.
Well, the Guitar Hero 3 was like, I feel like that's where they really honed in, like, what Guitar Hero was. There was one song on there by Priestess, I think was their name. Lay Down.
Oh yeah,
that song. Yeah, that song. I liked playing that one because that was like, it was a good song too.
It's a good song.
I mean, that was fun. And I think Cliffs of Dover might have been on the 3rd one.
Cliffs of Dover, dude.
That was a hand workout for sure.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It's funny, like, reliving all these memories of Guitar Hero now, because it's like, I remember, like, it's cool because I actually discovered a lot of my heavy music from guitar, like, dude, Disturbed. I know I got it kind of late to them. Yeah. Dude, even like Slipknot, I got into them pretty late, but dude, Before I Forget was on there. I was like, dude, this is sick. But the biggest one for me was actually, dude, Killswitch Engage, My Curse. Never heard that band before. And I was like, dude, they got screaming on Guitar Hero. I was like, this is sick. I was like, no way, dude. And then, yeah, I was like, this is super dope. But yeah, that's awesome, dude. Yeah, super cool, man. Did you win anything for the competition for Guitar Hero?
So it was at like a local hockey arena. They did it like first place winner got like a signed stick from the whole team.
Oh, okay.
And second place got something else. I don't remember if I got anything. I might have gotten like a food voucher or something. I don't remember.
Here's a pizza or something, dude. I feel that.
Yeah. But it really sucked because the like last round, you know, between the three of us.
Yeah.
They put us on Through the Fire and Flames on Expert.
Can't do that on Tuesday, yeah.
I couldn't beat that song regularly, but they put it on the mode where you didn't fail. So the other two played on another screen, and I was by myself on a screen. So I had all these people watching me, and you just hear chunk, 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 chunk. It was awful.
Yeah,
I did so bad.
Yeah, dude. I still can't beat that song. There's no way I can do it, but. Dude, that's sick, dude. I'm glad we're able to relive our memories of Guitar Hero. I kind of wish they'd bring it back, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
I know they had one
like
a few years ago. Oh, dude, I would love that, dude. Because I remember, like...
That would be sick.
Yeah, I promise we'll jump into some questions about the band, I promise. Dude, I remember... My favorite, actually, was Guitar Hero Metallica. I love Metallica. That was... That was every song on there was like perfect for me. I was like, "This is my game, dude." Yeah, but anyway, we can continue on. I apologize. I can talk about Guitar Hero forever.
I got off on a tangent.
No, I love that, dude. Yeah, no, it's cool because again, like a lot of people may listen to it, they're like, they will feel nostalgic about it, or they'll be like, "Dude, I have no idea what Guitar Hero is." So it's kind of interesting. Almost being 30 years old, you're like looking at it, going like, "Oh my gosh, these kids have no idea what this game is."
Yeah, it makes you feel old.
Yeah, man, it really does. It's weird, dude, but. Awesome, man. Well, yeah, dude. Let's dive in here. So, I'm excited to hear about this. So, how did you guys like meet? Like, how did Execution Day form, and how did you guys get the band members all together?
So, like I mentioned, I was in previous bands.
Yeah.
Like I said, I play guitar in all of them.
Yeah.
My prior band to this was called Handicap Parking Lot, and we were an easy core, like Captain Chunk style band.
Hey, I love that band.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Like that's who we like tried to strive to be. It was like Captain Chunk, or like A Day to Remember, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
But so there's three of us in that band. That was like the first real like somewhat traction we got, at least in like the local Pittsburgh scene. You know.
Cool. Yeah.
Like we got people talking about us. We opened for. Actually opened for I Prevail at their first show ever as a band was in Pittsburgh.
Really?
And we opened for them, and
dang, that's pretty cool. Don't want to cut you off there, but that's cute because I mean I Prevail is like huge, so it's like it's crazy to like imagine them being small at all because I've only seen them as a huge band. Yeah, that's really cool, man. I love stuff like that. So I didn't want to cut you off. Sorry about that.
No, it's all good. Yeah. But yeah, so like, I think that was like our first like big show, you know, because it was their first show after that Blank Space cover blew up.
Right.
They played at the Altar Bar in Pittsburgh. It was like an old abandoned church that they made into like a sick concert venue.
Yeah.
And there was like 500 or 600 people there. It was like pretty close to being sold out. And that was we made connections with the band. Like I still talk to Brian and Eric and Dylan in passing at times and stuff. So like, it's cool like saying like, yeah, we played their first show, opening with my easy core band.
Yeah, dude, that's amazing though. I mean, just having that kind of connection with someone like I Prevail is, I mean, definitely would probably help you guys now for sure. So that's yeah, that's awesome, dude.
So anyways, Handicap Parking Lot disbanded. I guess not disbanded, but our bass player had quit and we needed to fill a position.
Right.
So there's two friends of mine who were in a local band to the town I grew up in Berlin, that there was like a cover band, and I said to him, like, I became good friends with Jordan and Austin, who were then brought in to Handicap Parking Lot. So we had a 4-piece, and after a couple shows under that name, like, it felt like not the same band. Like, I was like, I feel like we need a rebrand,
Sure.
But we decided to like step it up from what we were doing. Our EP we recorded in my basement, and like I had no idea what I was doing. So we were like, let's go somewhere. Let's record like a legit like album, and they come out as Execution Day. It was ultimately like the name I decided on.
Cool.
So we flew down to Florida for 3 weeks and recorded an album with Andrew Wade, who's done, albums with Wage War,
How did I not
Ghost
know
Inside.
this, dude?
Yeah.
How did I not? That's so sick, dude. I love Andrew Wade. I don't know him personally, but yeah, he's worked with Ghost Inside. I love Wage War. I know he does does the majority of the Day to Remember stuff, I assume. So
he still has stuff with them.
Yeah, super, dude. That's super sick. I love
so that first,
I love this.
The first EP we did completely with Andrew Wade.
Cool.
Dumped a lot of money into recording it to get it to sound, And in that recording process, we brought Alec in, who is now our vocalist and guitar player.
Right.
At the time, he was 15.
Wow.
And
that's crazy. Dude.
Yeah. So I mean, now he's like 23, and I'm 29, and like our age gap is 6 years or whatever, 5 years, and at the time it seemed like we brought this little 15-year-old punk into the band, like. But so that was the 5 original members,
Awesome, dude.
And recorded that first EP. But shortly after we put out that first EP, the 2 that we had originally brought in had left. So it was like, oh crap! Like, do we have to start over again? So then we brought a friend of mine from Pittsburgh in to cover in bass and recorded another EP with Andrew again. And by that time, I'd gone through a couple other member changes, where ultimately we are now to 4 solid dudes who contribute everything they need to: time, money, effort.
Yeah.
That being me, Alec, John, our bass player, and Matt, our drummer. So it's been a ride so far in this past 7 years.
Yeah, dude. It's cool because I knew all the music you guys have been doing, because again, when I listened to Hollow, I went back and listened to a lot of your other guys' stuff, which I do like, and I do think your new stuff is soaring. I think it's doing great, but I love hearing where a band starts, and I think that's really, really cool, man. How'd you come up with the name Execution Day?
It just kind of came to me one day. Like,
cool name.
I obviously wasn't gonna stick with handicap parking lot, So,
I love that.
I really was sitting thinking about what I want, something that's not just like brush off, like no one's gonna remember it.
Yeah.
And some people might still think it is, but we actually had a demo from Handicap Parking Lot that became our first song.
Okay.
Disconnected.
Yeah.
Disconnected was the first song we released as a band.
Yeah.
And the original title of the demo of that song was Execution of a Young Man's Heart, super emo.
Oh yeah, of course. Absolutely.
Name. And I liked Execution. I was like, that really stands out to me. That's like a word that's like a trigger word,
Yeah.
And so I was like, Execution, what could it be? And Execution Day popped in my head, and I got chills, and I was like,
yeah,
I think that's it. You know? It just it stuck with me. So that's how ultimately it became to be Execution Day.
That's cool, dude. I really like it. Yeah, it's a cool name. It's funny. I looked at a lot of bands, I'm like, the name could be a little bit to be desired, but I really like your guys' band name. It sounds like it's really metal. Would you guys describe yourself as metal, or how would you describe your genre? If someone came up to you and was like, what kind of music do you play? What would you tell them? It's hard.
See, it depends on who's asking, If Grandma Betty comes up to me and says, what kind of music do you sing? It's hard to answer that for someone over the age of 60, because you basically at that point have to say I scream, and they're like, oh no, I don't want anything to do with that,
Always, dude.
But
always.
We classify ourselves as metalcore. We kind of put ourselves as post-hardcore at first. That was still kind of a big genre. I mean, it still is.
Definitely. Yeah.
Metalcore is just kind of that safety net that we're sticking with for now.
Yeah, dude. I think that's fantastic, man. Yeah, I definitely when I first heard it, I was like, dude, this is metalcore, active rock, just really, really good stuff. So I was wondering how you guys would categorize it. And here's another funny question for you. And we don't have to get too much into it here, but dude, when I go to church, sometimes people they ask me they're like, hey, I heard your new song, and we don't like it. It doesn't match our standards. I'm like, okay. I was like, so what are some people's reactions when you tell them that you're in a band? I don't know if we don't have to talk about it. I don't know if church is part of your life anymore. I know we talked about our mission a lot at the beginning, but But yeah, have people given you like a funny look, or like, you know, like is it kind of one of those things where you're used to it by now, or?
Yeah, I mean, you always get those looks, like I said, from especially like older people. I mean, even younger people still too. Yeah. But like I said, like it's hard to explain to some people like what genre you are. But I was actually at church a couple weeks ago.
Oh, cool,
took my daughter and was there with my parents and stuff.
Yeah.
And there's people in the church that actually enjoy like my music.
Heck yeah, like I love that.
A friend of mine, I grew up knowing him. Joe Heinze, he's like a huge fan of my band. Cool. I guess his wife the one day caught him in the bathroom singing Hollow and stuff. And he's like, "That's my boy. That's my boy Dylan."
In the bathroom, dude. I love that, dude. That's fantastic.
Yeah. So I mean, like, you know, I don't know. It's just one of those things that people are always going to look at you kind of strange, you know, because they don't understand it, you know, which I get, you know.
Yeah, totally.
There was a point in my life, too, where I thought, like, oh, well, they scream, they can't sing, they suck, you know.
Right. Oh, totally.
You know, it was just, I don't know if ignorance is the word, but it was just ignorance, you know. I didn't really understand it, so I thought, oh, that sucks, you know.
Yeah, for sure, dude. I get that, man. Yeah, man, that's cool. I was just curious what people thought, because I'm just like, I'll still see a lot of people, and because I'm doing some music right now, and they'll hear it and they'll just be like, this doesn't vibe with me. I'm like, that's fine, it's okay, that's whatever, you know, it is what it is. So, but yeah, I was just wondering what people thought of your music. So that's pretty. What does your wife and daughters think of your music? I mean, I know your daughters are old enough to understand, but do they vibe?
Yeah, I mean, like. Especially like when Hollow came out, like everyone gets, you know, it goes with that song. My wife grew up listening to, you know, typical like whatever's on the radio, pop. Older she got into like EDM and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But she still has ties to like the OG like emo era. Like she has songs on her phone by like early Bless the Fall, and I'm like, I don't even listen to some of that stuff. You know, like
either, yeah.
There's some curveballs where like we'll be in the car and she'll be on her phone and, you know, skipping through music to put something on.
Yeah.
And I'll see 40 Days by Bless the Fall come up. I'm like, wait, why is that on your phone? You know? Because, I mean, it's not her music.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there's still ties that, you know, she has older stuff that whenever that was more, I guess, like the middle school, like scene, you know, emo scene type thing.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
You know.
I love that.
But, I mean, my daughter's like, my youngest, Alea, she just headbangs to anything.
I
don't know if like she got that from me.
Yeah.
But that's just her go-to. She's always bobbing her head. And she just loves to sing and dance.
That's
so. I mean, I'm hoping that as they get older and are exposed to like this kind of music, they're not put off by it, because you know most people aren't exposed to like metal or you know, hard rock or whatever.
Exactly.
But, yeah.
Cool, man. That's super awesome. And here's one question that I want to ask, and we'll kind of tie it into the next couple of questions here. Is like, so, like, what do you want this band to stand for? Now, obviously, I know, as you said, like, kind of learning a little about you, which I love learning. Because, again, one thing I love about, you know, doing this podcast, I like to learn about other people, but I hope that people who listen can take away something that they can apply to their personal life. I have some people who don't even listen to this kind of music at all, but they really like the podcast and kind of what these bands do and kind of like what they stand for.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess my question for you, dude, I guess personally is like, what do you want this band? Because obviously, you know, this music will be on this earth for forever. Like, your music will be here forever, and obviously, you know, one day we will eventually, you know, pass on. What do you want to leave behind with this band? What do you want Execution Day to stand for?
It's always, I mean, my message has always kind of been like, it's okay to not be okay, you know, like,
love that, dude.
It's a part of life to struggle. It's a part of life to have peaks and valleys, you know, ups and downs. Like, it's just, you know, we define ourselves by how we react in those situations. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So, I mean, that's always been kind of my thing. Like, mental health is a serious thing, a thing that I take seriously, and like pushing our songs. And, I've always, ever since I was younger and really started getting into like diving into music, and you know, Blink-182 is one of the first bands I fell in love with.
Yeah.
And like Tom DeLonge has this side project called Angels and Airwaves.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And his music in general just changed my life, but especially like the message that Angels and Airwaves puts on, like, that there's hope, there's, you know, love out there, like, be a decent person and just, you know, love life, live life as it is. I've always just wanted to be that person that writes music for, you know, younger kids or anyone to just relate to and look at and listen to in like hard times and like as a beacon of hope, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I love that. So, I really, really like that. And I love what you were saying there, that it's okay not to be okay. And I love that about your guys' music, too. I think that's really cool. And it really seems like, you know, you guys are willing to put in, like, that work to make sure, like, that is your message. Because, again, as I said, I've been following guys since when Hollow dropped. Because, again, my friend Dylan sent it to me here. And, like, honestly, dude, like, I am, like, really impressed with, like, the work that you guys have done. Like, I seriously was like, dude, you guys have, like, 70,000 plus monthly listeners, like, on Spotify. Like, that's before you guys were signed. I don't know if you guys were, like, technically signed before, but, like, you guys are doing really good. I was like, that's actually a really good number for someone who's not signed. I mean, that's pretty cool, dude. That's pretty sick.
No, that's what I think, too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad.
Not to toot my own horn, you know, but...
Yeah, like, the momentum has been phenomenal for you guys. And, like, seriously, like, when I reacted to Hollow... there were so many comments saying like this band is so good, they're incredibly underrated. I actually just had, no joke, I was actually saving this for the podcast, and I'll do it right now. So I get a lot of people who reach out to me to do like reactions, like bands and stuff. Like they're like, "Hey, we like your energy. Can you do a reaction to our band?" And if I have time, I definitely try to help out as many bands as I can. But it was crazy that he found my channel because of your guys' song, because of Hollow. And I was like,
oh, no way.
I was like, dude, that's crazy. Like, I'm literally about to talk to Dylan in like a few hours. He's like, what? Are you serious? I was like, dude, like, I'm not joking. So yeah, he was like, he's like, I loved your reaction to Hollow, and I love Execution Day. And I was like, wow, that is like super cool. And
no
so
way.
Like, yeah, dude, I can show that to you too. I'm sure it's cool with me showing you the message, but I'll show you that after. But I seriously was like what the work you've been doing. I'm like, that's just so sick. I mean, like, you guys have also opened. You guys did the I the Breather tour, which I'm sure was like. Was that like your first big tour that you guys have done, or?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've done like week and a half runs, 10 days or whatever here and there throughout the past few years. But that was the first like big tour. I mean, it was like 6 weeks, and I mean that's
wow.
Even with bigger bands, like you don't really see like a lot of 6-week tours like in a row. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, and I was gonna say, dude, I like to do my homework before I do the interviews with you guys. And dude, I saw your Bus Invaders video. I was like, dude, that's actually really sick. I was like, man, what a cool guy. And yeah, man, it looked like it was like really cold, and you guys built bunks in the back, but it seemed like you guys had a good attitude about the whole thing. Like so let me ask you, like, how was like touring like for 6 weeks, like in a van, you're with a bunch of dudes, like how is it, dude? Like is it weird? Yeah,
I love it, man. I mean,
dude, I'm glad.
I've always wanted to be on the road. Like that's been my dream since I first picked up a guitar playing Guitar Hero.
Yeah, dude.
But it's great, I mean, it's not glamorous, it's not easy.
Yeah.
And people just think like, oh, you're out there like hanging with your bros, and like, yeah, that's fun, but like I'm out there to work, I'm not out there to just party or whatever. Like that's not what I'm about,
Yeah.
I'm out there to spread a message and do what I'm out there to do, and that's to put on a heck of a show that people are going to remember.
Yeah.
And so next time we come around, they're going to come see us and bring some of their friends. You know what I mean?
That's exactly how it should be, man. I think that's really cool. Always good to have fun, but I think, that's like your job. So, I mean, I think that's really cool that you're able to kind of balance those both out here. Like, how was when you guys toured and stuff, how's the reception been for you guys' music? I mean, it's from what I've seen, it looks like it's pretty good, and people seem to really like the music you guys are doing.
Dude, it was better than I would have expected, honestly.
Good.
Not that I thought that it would have been bad, but
yeah,
there was just people that came out to these shows that I've obviously never met, and they're like, I love your music, I love your message, and
great.
And they know me. They know me, and I don't know them.
Yeah,
it's just
exactly.
Like, it's like a humbling, like sobering experience. You know what I mean? And there actually was one instance whenever we played it was in Florida. I forget what date it was. It was like Fort Walton Beach, I believe.
Dude, that's okay. Really quick, I have to say, my fiance lives there, and I'm moving there in August. That's where she lives.
Oh, no way.
No way. And her dad is a huge metalhead, so him and I get along really well. So yeah, I'm moving down there in August. We get married in October, but that's literally where I'm going to be living is Fort Walton Beach. Dude, this is
that's awesome.
I'm not blowing smoke for this. I really like my fiance will confirm it. I am moving there. That's literally crazy, dude. Holy cow! So I know all these places that you're talking about. That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's where it was. Like that's just the first thing that came to my head. Anyways,
yeah.
It wasn't like a crazy turnout for the show for this one. It was still early in the tour.
Yeah.
We were like 3 days in or a couple days in. We were first on every night after the locals and stuff.
Right.
We're playing our set. The crowd reaction was all right. I mean, for this show, and I do a speech every night before Hollow. That's usually our closer. And, I'm talking about mental health and, giving everyone the good word.
Yeah, man.
And this guy comes running up to the stage from the back of the venue. And he comes up to the front of the stage. He's like, hey, man, did you play Hollow yet? And I was like, yeah, man, that's what we're playing right now. And he's like, oh, thank you. No way. I was like, what the heck? And we play this song. And this dude is up front singing every word. I'm like, this dude knows this song. Like that was like so the first person that really seemed to know like the song as like a whole, Yeah. And so I get off stage, we're done playing, and this dude comes up to me, and his name's Jakob, and he was just started talking to me, and he's like, dude, like I can't express to you how grateful I am for your music. He's like, for one, I didn't even know you guys were playing here tonight. He's like, I was at a bar down the road drinking with some friends, and they said, oh, there's like a metal show up the road. And he's like, oh, who are some bands playing? And he listed off, and Execution Day is playing. And he was like, Execution Day? We're like, yeah. And he said he just bolted out of the bar and ran down there. Like, he didn't know we were playing there. And he got there right when we were starting to play Hollow. And, he was talking about he's in the military and how hard life has been for him. And I mean, this is a grown dude, 6'2", taller than me, in shape. Like, it looks like he's got his life together, man. And I mean, he's just welling up with tears, and I'm sitting there like trying to keep it together,
Right, of course.
And he's just telling me about how much my music has helped him, and like I was on cloud 9. Like after me and him hugged it out, and I went out to the van. I just sobbed. I was bawling like a baby, bro.
Oh man,
because it was a full circle moment,
right.
Like I said, when I was younger, I looked at these bands as like a beacon of hope, and I wanted to be that for somebody.
Absolutely.
And that was, come full circle. Someone saying, "Hey, like your music has like saved my life," and I was like, "Man, like that was right there." I was like, "This is what it's for. This is why I do it."
Yeah, exactly.
It was wild.
Yeah, dude. And I think that's really cool how you mentioned like all that, like it just circles around, and I think that's really cool how this music has helped you, and so you want to take that message and help somebody else. And I think that's, I mean, a lot of people are so ashamed to talk about mental health, and I was one of those people too. I've been struggling since I was like in 8th grade, and as I said, I'm 29 now, and I didn't even tell my mom that I was like depressed until I was like 23. So again, just a few, like not that long ago. But I remember like I really got into this music because like the lyrics really impacted me as a person. And I was like, dude, like if I can't tell somebody, I'm going to listen to the music and try to feel better about myself. And I think what's cool, and again, I think what's cool with you guys, again, as I said, with the momentum that you guys are having, I mean, it's only going to go up and up. And if you're able to keep that kind of message, like you'll be able to reach more people. And I think, and because everyone's lives is so important, no matter what they've been through, no matter what struggles are going through, like they can hear this music and be like, all right, dude, like I can feel better. Even if it's like just going to a show. Sometimes going to a show and just having that environment of people is just like an amazing thing. So, I mean, you guys,
it's like therapy, man.
It is, exactly. It's like it's like cheap therapy. I don't want to say like cheap therapy.
Yeah.
Therapy does cost a lot of money, but it's like, like seriously, because you go there and all these people at these metal shows are so nice, and all the bands that I've got to interview on this podcast or I've met in person, like I got to meet Matty Mullins of Memphis Mayfire, and I always knew he was a nice guy, but I was like meeting him, I was like, dude, he's like someone I've looked up to since I was like 14 or 15, and it's just a nice guy. And so it's like, I love seeing that with you, dude. I think that's really, really cool. So props to you, man. That's wonderful. That's a really good story. Thank you for sharing that, dude. Yeah.
That's one of those standout moments that still, I mean, I'll take that with me to my grave. Like,
I love that.
That'll forever be a super special moment for me, you know?
Yeah, and I think too, like, I know there's going to be days where we all struggle, like, you know, especially, I mean, there'll be some days where you're on tour, like, oh man, I kind of just want to go home or whatever, but then you'll think about that moment, you're like, I gotta keep doing it for moments like this, and that makes you just feel good. And so, absolutely love that, dude. And I do want to dive a little more into mental health with you here, if that's okay, because it seems like you got a good head on your shoulders about it. You're pretty open about it. So I know I know we kind of already touched on it a little bit, but like, why do you think mental health is, like, you know, so important to talk about? Because again, there's so much music out there, you know, there's like so much popular music talk about like sex and money and drugs, alcohol, but then, like, you know, and those are like these huge artists, but then we got you guys here trying to spread a really powerful word to help other people. So it's like, are there any like experiences like in your life that you're willing to share, if you know any offhand, like how, I guess, like music's helped you get out of a dark place, or like how your mental health is doing per se?
Always working on my mental health. You know, that's something that, you know, you're never gonna, I feel like you're never gonna necessarily beat it, because, you know, like you said, you're gonna have those days where, I mean, you're just getting beat down, you know, left and right, and things coming at you. But I'm always working on it, and, you know, some days I struggle more than others.
Absolutely.
But my kids have honestly been like a huge saving grace. Like,
dude, I love to hear it.
Just given me a whole different like outlook on life, you know, and obviously like being raised Christian and stuff, and like you already have like a sort of outlook, but I mean, that's where it really like hits you, like, man, like I have a purpose, and my purpose is them, and, you know, their purpose for now is me, you know, like I'm the one they look to for everything, you know, and you know, I gotta be the best version of myself I can possibly be all the time, you know, and just try it, you know. So I mean, it's like I said, like you said, the pop music and stuff like that, like it's always been weird to me that that's just been glamorized, like on the radio. Like I get it, like a lot of people just listen to the beat, and like that's what they, you know, kind of thrive on and stuff, and I get it, like there's a time and a place for different kinds of music and stuff. You know, you're not going to go to the club and rip off some, you know, In Flames or something like that, though, like, right? You know,
I wish, dude. Could you imagine? That'd be so sick.
So I mean, like, I get it, there's a time and place for everything. But you know, like when I first really dove into like this kind of music, and like you said, like the message that they were like putting on was totally different from anything else that I'd heard on the radio. Because obviously that's where you ingest all the music to a certain age. You know, whatever's out there, that's what you listen to. You know, and it just really hit me, like they're not singing about getting drunk at the club or doing drugs in the bathroom stall. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and that's something I look back to a lot, you know, like listening to Blink-182. Granted, Blink-182 has some songs that's like,
of course,
you know, totally not appropriate.
But, totally, dude. Yeah, I get that.
As they matured and stuff, you know, that especially, like, you know, it gave me a place to feel like, you know, I'm an outcast, is what I felt like growing up.
Dude, I feel that.
You know, this is a band that not many people really listen to, or its style of music, you know, and it just made me feel like, you know, they're different, I can be different too, you know?
Yeah, dude.
So.
Oh, I love that, dude. Yeah, no, I didn't want to cut you. If you wanted to say something else, I didn't want to cut
you. No, you're good. I lost train of thought where I was going to go with
You're good, man. No, I love all that, dude. Again, as I said, I love learning about you, dude, because I'll be honest with you, dude, I'm terrified to have kids, but you saying that about your daughters actually, like, gave me, like, a new outlook on that, because there's some days where it's like, I don't know what my purpose is, dude. Like, I feel like, you know, I'm getting married. I'll be like 30 when I get married. I'll be like, you know, I'm doing this YouTube channel that I really enjoy, but it's like I'm kind of stuck in this dead-end job, and it's like, I don't know. I'm just like, I feel like I'm stuck a lot. Like, I do music, but it's not like my full-time thing. So it's like I still feel stuck a lot, but I don't know, man. Hearing all that actually really helped. Like, it actually helped me a lot. Like, it just kind of gave me that moment of like, Oh, yeah, it's all right. So, yeah, you and I really would have been good friends. We would have lived, like, if we were growing up together, we definitely would have been homies, dude. Absolutely.
If we'd have been companions on our mission.
Dude, the thing is, though, it's like, I'll be honest with you, I'll say it. I got into some music that I probably shouldn't listen to on my mission. I listened to Common Courtesy dropped on my mission, jammed the whole thing. I'll say it. I bought that album.
No way.
Sorry, President Mendenhall, if you're listening. But, yeah, I bought that album, dude, yeah.
What was your mission? Were you in Colorado Springs too?
So I I started out in Colorado, Denver South, and then I actually but then we had a mission split. So Dylan actually was in Colorado Springs, but where he was, that mission became a part of my mission. So we were both Colorado, Denver North, and then that's how we became that's how we became friends. So that's
okay. Yeah, I remember when that split. I was so mad. I was like, dude, like. He was, with me in the MTC, and I'm not going to see him again,
Yeah, dude, yeah. But yeah, as I said, him and I talk all the time, and I'll make sure to send this to him.
Yeah, I was going to say, make sure you tell him I said hello.
Absolutely, yeah. It's such a cool guy, man. Yeah, he's doing dentist stuff right now. He's doing well. He's got a kid. His wife's great. So yeah, he's a great guy. So yeah, dude, we would. Yeah, we would have had fun as companions, dude. Absolutely.
Yeah. That's like me on my mission. I got in the one elder's apartment. They had a guitar.
Oh,
and, you're not supposed to, aside from like piano on Sunday or whatever. Like,
right.
There's an acoustic guitar in their apartment, and like every time we went down there, dude, I actually wrote a couple songs on my mission that ended up being for handicap parking lot.
Oh, sick, dude. That's cool. I don't think anything.
I wrote straight on acoustic, and that was like I was going crazy not playing my guitar, and like you said, like I bought music that probably shouldn't have been listening to, like nothing crazy, like,
I did.
Imagine Dragons, like that was still like approved or whatever, I guess, kind of.
I had that. I had the new Asking Alexandria album. I had it all, dude. I'm cool saying it.
Oh, no way.
I had From Death to Destiny, dude. I had it all, dude. So I got better as my mission went on. I did eventually get rid of them, which was a bummer because I did buy them. I was like, dang it. But I was like, I gotta focus and actually do this right. So, but yeah, no,
because if they're there, you're gonna listen to them.
I know. I was like, I'm just gonna listen to it all day long, dude. But yeah, no, dude. My mission was a great experience, and that's cool that you wrote some of those songs on your mission, dude. I don't really see anything wrong with that. Like making music, like you feel good about it. It's not bad. I think acoustic's way better than like you're playing like electric or something like that.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, so yeah, one of my companions played acoustic guitar, and we would just sing like hymns and stuff just for fun. So it was pretty cool. We did that often. That's some of my best memories actually. So that's really cool, man. That's super sick. So I was gonna ask you this,
but also,
no, go ahead, please.
Sorry, I was just gonna say.
No, please, dude.
I was just gonna say with you, like the whole like having kids and stuff like that, dude. It's my mom always told me like. No one's ever ready to have kids. Like, if you think you're ready, like you're not, because it always blindsides you in some way, And like with me, like I always knew I wanted to have kids,
right?
And my now wife, when she had our daughter, like, dude, like the second she was born, I was just like, it was such a surreal experience in the birthing room of like, it felt like a warm hug almost, you know what I mean? Like, you got this. Like, it was that feeling of like, dude, you got this. Like, and whether you think you do or not, you're going to nut up and do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude.
So, I mean, I think you'd be a great dad, bro. For real.
Dude, thank you, man. That means a lot. I don't want you to make me cry on this podcast. Because, dude, like, yeah, it's really cool because, like, some people I didn't worry that we were going to be, like, homies and just have a really chill talk. But it's like, dude, sometimes, like, when I'm talking to you, I'm like, I feel like we've been homies for, like, a long time.
I know.
Like, yeah, I'm just like, yeah, dude, this guy would absolutely be a super sick dude to hang out with. So I really appreciate that, dude. Thank you so much. That really means a lot from the bottom of my heart. Like, sincerely.
No problem, man.
I mean that, dude. So.
No problem.
But yeah, let's dive in. I got some more questions for you here. We'll get those going here, and then I know
keep
you got
going, bro.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, and I know I don't want to keep it too long because I know you probably got to go back into the studio tomorrow, which we will talk about soon.
Absolutely.
But yeah, dude, let's go ahead and dive in here. Let me pull this up. So I just want to say really quick, your hard work, as I said, it's really paying off for you guys, and it looks like you guys just got signed to a label, dude. I mean, that's huge, dude. I mean.
Yeah.
How do you say the record label's name?
Theoria Records.
Theoria Records. So I looked on because when I saw that you guys posted it, because For those who don't know, Dylan and I are homies on Facebook. When I saw that, I looked at it and I was like, I gotta see who's on there. I don't recognize any of the bands, but I mean, I'm like, it's so cool seeing your guys' name on a record label, dude. So I just want to first say congratulations. Yeah. This is proof to everybody right here, no matter what you want to do in your life. If you just put in the work, dude, that's like huge. And I think a lot of people can relate to that. Like, you did it. Like, you did it, dude. You are living you're living the dream that you wanted, and you got it, dude. So that's huge, man. I mean, honestly, I hope you feel proud about that, dude. That's amazing.
Absolutely. It's something I've wanted since, starting to be in bands and stuff. And, Theoria Records is still like essentially a newer label. Cody Frame, the owner, I've known him since like 2016 or so, whenever we started playing out towards like the Lancaster metal scene and stuff like that. And he used to work for a label before and decided to start his own. And, it's a smaller label, like you said. There's a lot of really sick bands, Soft Spoken, Enemy, to name a couple, that are just really like coming up. Enemy was actually on the test drive on Octane when we were on.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
So, I mean, and they're that sick, like, active rock kind of style that, like, we kind of tamper into as well. But, definitely. I mean, I view it as, like, this is the starting line. As much work as we've done in 7 years' time, I mean, now is, like, we have people to answer to. We have, a platform to really start building on, Yeah, dude. Because before, it's like we're a truck stuck in the mud. We're just spinning and trying to get going somewhere. And then we started getting some traction, and now we have this sort of cornerstone that I think is really going to start, keep us building. I really hope that and think that that's what this is for us, so
I think so as well. So how was the if you don't mind, if you're able to say what you can, how was like the whole process of like getting signed? Like, were you guys like, were you in contact with some other labels and you guys just kind of sat down as a band, like, I think this is the right one for us here? Like, how did that whole process work of like getting signed, dude?
So throughout the years, I mean, there has been a couple, I mean, not like a ton. I'm not going to act like everybody wanted us, but there's been a couple, and especially in the past year, like since Hollow and since like our success has really started gaining more momentum. Yeah. There's been a few that we've been in like talks with. There's been a couple deals that we kind of turned away because we felt like we deserved more than what they were offering. We didn't want to be just jump ship and take on a deal that's not going to help us,
Yeah, exactly.
And essentially lose everything we worked for. So, exactly. I mean, this was the first deal that we've gotten offered that it felt good. We felt like they actually care about what we want to do, and they want to help us grow. And they understand that they're not Fearless Records or these huge labels. Maybe one day they will be, and I hope they are. That they told us like, we want to get you guys to to build bigger and to be on that next label and just keep driving. You know what I mean? So yeah, dude. I mean, it just felt like finally like someone actually cared about us and really appreciated our message and the work that we've been putting in. Yeah. And they're equally putting in the work that we are now. So it's just really like a good match at the time,
Yeah, man. I went and followed them on everything, so I will definitely keep an eye out for more stuff, dude. Maybe that'll be a record label I can work. I work with a few record labels, so maybe I can reach out to them like, hey, what's up? Y'all want to work together? That'd be pretty sick, dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
That'd be super dope, dude. And because of this this record announcement, dude, you got a brand new song coming out called Flourish. I believe that's how you say it.
Yes, sir.
I'm super hyped. I will let you know this podcast will be coming out a little bit later, but there will be a reaction to that song on my channel. Super excited to check it out here. Like, what is dude, what is like the process of like you guys writing a song? Like, do you start with lyrics? You start with guitar? Like, I guess also now we can jump into what we were talking about before we started. Like who you guys were recording with, like if you guys were doing an album or anything. So tell us how to write a song, Dylan. How do you guys write a song?
When you figure it out, you let me know.
Yeah,
I have a process. Yeah, I have a process that I do, and I mean everyone does it different.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Me personally, I sit in my studio room and I start in a blank screen, plug my guitar in, and I just, sometimes I'll play along to songs. Yeah. And just kind of riff over stuff, and I'll like play something that I like, or, I'll have something that's stuck in my head all day at work, and I'll be like, I gotta gotta put this down and see where it goes.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
So me personally, I start with instrumentals. I write the entire song, front to back.
So do you do everything? Like, do you write everything? Are you like Caleb Shomo of Beartooth? Do you write everything, then the band like plays it?
Not to that extent.
Okay,
I mean,
all right.
in the beginning of the band, the first album was majority me, with Andrew obviously wrote, you know, to spice things up and make things better.
Yeah.
Because I was still, you know, pretty new at the writing game, I guess. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, a lot of stuff starts with me. I mean, Alec has now started to write as well, and the song coming out on Thursday was actually like a demo that started from him.
Cool.
So yeah, I start with instrumental, and then I sit on that for a few months, and I don't really try to force lyrics. You know, try to let the lyrics come to me.
Okay. Do you let the lyrics like come like so? Like you obviously start with the. What's nice is that you play guitar, so you can kind of like put everything together. I can't play guitar, so like I just have to kind of write lyrics just based on how I'm feeling. But do you like do you like when you listen to the instrumental? Did the lyrics kind of just come to you, or like how does the lyrics work for you guys? Because you guys have good lyrics in your songs.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So oddly enough, I mean, I'll listen to it while I'm at work. You know, driving my FedEx truck. I'll just listen to the instrumental, and like I said, I don't want to force anything because I feel like that's disingenuous.
Absolutely.
And I start in the depths of the music. I start hearing things that aren't there, I guess you could say.
Sure.
Just things working in my head.
Yeah.
Like for Hollow, you know, it was just the instrumental, and I was in my FedEx truck one morning driving to work. I was listening to it, and the chorus melody just like popped in my head.
Nice.
And like the lyrics kind of just followed very quickly. I was, you know, writing the lyrics and the melody all at the same time, and in a matter of like a 30-minute drive to work, I wrote the chorus for Hollow. Just doing that, you know.
Wow.
Listening to the song and kind of riffing over it. So
that's sick. That's actually a talent that a lot of people can't do. So that's pretty sick, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'd call it a talent, but I mean, I guess it is.
I would say so. I mean, I think like, you know, like especially like coming up with something like that, like a lot of people, like I have a lot of friends that are really into like poetry, and they ask me like, how do you write like a song? And I'm just like, to be honest, I don't really know. Like some people just kind of like have a thing where it's like you just write. I just don't like write down, you know, how you feel. And maybe that, even if it's like garbage, like just write down, and you could probably turn that into to something. That's what I always tell people. Like because I post a lot of my lyrics on social media, and they're like, "Dude, how did you write this?" And I'm like, "Well, I mean, it's kind of how I feel. It might be a little depressing, but it's like, you know, I kind of just feel it. So yeah, I'm sure you know how that goes. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean that makes it real though. I mean that's like me. Like I don't write, you know, trying to talk about someone else, or like I write from my experiences, you know, and I do the same thing. I'll think of a line of, you know, of how I feel, and I'll write it in my phone, and like that's a way of therapy too, you know, like just that's a way to get it off your chest. Yeah. And then you come back to it, and I'll use lyrics that I've put in my phone from 3 years ago, you know.
I love that.
That was just a note that was just how I felt that day, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. That's super sick. So let's talk about like an album or an EP from you guys. Are you allowed to say what you guys are doing?
I mean, I don't know if I can completely say, but okay. I mean,
I don't want to get in trouble.
I think most people know that like there's some form of EP or album in the works, and
fantastic.
I mean, it's being worked on currently, and is very close to being done.
Sick, dude. And so, who are you guys recording with?
Justin DeBleek, formerly of Ice Nine Kills, their guitar player,
so sick.
Screamer. Yeah, he's just been great for us, man. I mean, he is. This is the first music, like Hollow was the first song that we really went to him with, you know, because we took the song to him and wrote it and stuff, and then we went down to Florida and tracked Hollow and Escape, actually, with Andrew. And so that was the first that JD had written with us.
Yeah.
And pretty much every song since those, and the ones that are going to be coming out, have all been with JD, you know, mixed. And yeah, I mean, he's just been great for us. He really seems to love us, and we love him. And that's just awesome. He's really sees promise in us. So it's a good time for us. We have a label that's in our corner. We have a producer that really seems to be in our corner. And, you know, all the guys, like I said, really giving it their all.
Yeah, dude, that's super awesome, man. And I assume like going into records like a pretty like I don't want to say like an easy process, but just kind of like relaxing and kind of I assume it's probably pretty fun to go and just record with him, dude. I'm sure that's pretty sick.
Yeah, I mean it's anytime, even with going to Andrew, like
yeah,
obviously there's a lot of money that's behind it, like on your own personal end. So like,
course, yeah.
but you just don't think about that stuff. You're there to create and to make the best thing you can.
Yeah, dude.
And they're real good about making it like super low stress, and we're here to just hang out and make some good songs.
I love that, dude. That's super sick, man. So I'm actually curious to hear like, so obviously like being on the road and like making music, being in the studio, like, sure your voice is a little bit tired, dude. How do you take care of your voice, dude? And how did you learn how to like? Well, let's start off with this. How do you take care of your voice? Because I know you do a lot of screaming and singing. How do you take care of it?
So when I'm at the studio, depending on what I'm doing, like I'll drink like hot green tea. Like this morning, I had a cup of hot green tea to help just warm everything up. And, a lot of times, if I'm doing like mostly screams, I'll drink chocolate milk while I'm in the booth, just to get that phlegm. Yeah, and actually, Eric from I Prevail, he says he does the same thing. He has a jug of chocolate milk right there with him when he's doing his screams.
Dang,
it works pretty good, man. I'll tell you.
I'll have to try that. I always just assumed that milk would just kind of hurt, but that's actually a good idea. Dang.
Yeah, so like when I was in choir in high school, my choir director was always like, no milk before concert, only water.
Right.
And I get that because it coats your vocal cords. But when you're screaming, I mean, you want it to kind of soothe your vocal cords and coat it and try to protect them a little bit if you're doing a song or whatever. But yeah, it works great for me personally. So.
Dang, I'll have to try that, dude. I kind of want to go buy some chocolate milk after this and go give it a shot.
Yeah, that's always been my drink of choice too.
Yeah, dude, it's good, man.
I'm cool with it.
Yeah, awesome.
That's why I got this little pouch up here.
Nah, dude, nah. That's awesome, dude. So yeah, you drink chocolate milk, and then like, how long do you guys record for? I mean, it must be a hard time to like take care of your voice for that long, for sessions like that, dude.
Yes, I mean with this record collection of songs that we're doing, it's been in the works for ever since that last EP came out.
Yeah, I
mean I'm always jumping in. Like there's songs I'm writing now that will be on the next record because it's too late for this one. But
right,
it's always a couple years process. Like working with JD, we did it remote during COVID and stuff like that. So he would track all the stuff at his place, and we'd send him our demos, and he'd flesh them out up there and everything. So I mean, when we went with Andrew, we would go down for like 3 weeks at a time, which was hard on our pockets. Obviously, that's a lot of money to spend in hotel and get time off work. And now that I have a family and stuff, that's a lot less feasible to do as much. So working the remote like 1 or 2 days a week here and there, and it's just now gotten to the point where we have a full album of songs, and so it's a lot easier that way, at least.
Yeah, dude.
So I mean, it's not too bad on my voice since I get that break between.
Yeah.
Like today and tomorrow, I'm tracking 2 songs, and that's manageable. 2 songs in 2 days.
Yeah.
So I mean,
cool, dude. How'd you learn how to do it? How'd you learn how to do it properly?
I don't know if I do it properly, but so like I said, I was in choir in high school and stuff like that. And I took vocal lessons for a couple summers growing up.
Okay.
And so I at least know how to sing properly. So like I know all the proper techniques that way.
Yeah.
And that really translates over pretty well for screaming,
Yeah.
But I didn't start screaming until Execution Day. Like in all the bands I sang, I strictly sang. I didn't do any harsh vocals at all.
Okay.
And in Handicap Parking Lot, when our bass player left, he screamed. And when we started tracking Execution Day stuff, I was originally just going to be the singer, and our bass player we brought in was going to be the screamer.
Gotcha. Okay.
Well, then we got down there, and Andrew was like, "No, he should be singing, and you should be screaming." Like I guess we had the voice, flip flopped, and that first song, Disconnected, I had no clue what I was doing, dude. I just I pushed and just belted as loud as I could.
Yep.
And and Andrew obviously worked his magic to make me sound good, but
definitely, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, now since doing it for so many years, I've gotten better at like not completely screwing my voice up,
Yeah.
But it's one of those things like I think I do it right, but then there's times where I'm like, that shouldn't really feel like that, you know? But
yeah, no, I feel you. I feel that too, dude. That's cool, man. Yeah, it's always that's always kind of a loaded question, just because people always ask. It's like everyone's so different. It's like, you know, you do chocolate milk. I've never heard of that before, but then it's like, you know, some people. I've heard somebody eat like they do like Coca-Cola before they record. I'm like, that's crazy. I was like, I don't know about that. That might hurt. So. I don't know. Yeah. Everyone's just so different how they do it, and everyone asks me, I'm just like, I don't know, man. Like, I just kind of do it, and it works, and it doesn't hurt. So
yeah, I think it's
all right. Yeah, exactly. So that's sick, dude. That's super sick. I got a few more questions for you here, dude, and then we'll get you going for the night. So here's one question for you here, and then I got some lightning round questions for you. So. What are your thoughts on like reaction videos? Like people in like the reaction scene, like when they react to your stuff. I mean, obviously I know you guys like it, but like what are your thoughts overall like for the reaction scene? Do you like them? Do you wish, you know, do you not like them? Like
God, I love watching reaction videos.
Awesome.
I mean,
that's great to hear.
Like some of the ones that come to my head is like Alex Hefner. Have you ever heard him?
Oh, I love Alex. Yeah, he's cool.
He's great, dude. Tulip Mafia. He kills it every time.
Yeah.
There was that guy, Truant Reacts, I think, way back a few years ago.
Yeah, dude.
He kind of dropped off, I think. I don't know, but
he did drop off.
I think he was the first person I really like watched reaction videos from, because he would just, you know, he just got you going, you know, the way with his accent and stuff too. You know?
Dude. Yeah.
But I think that there's nothing but good that comes out of that, because like, I mean, maybe for me too, like watching like your reaction video, I think that was the first one that anyone had done for us.
Oh, okay.
And it was just so, I had such a good time watching someone enjoy my music, you know, because I think Ronnie Radke just like said something the other day about like how precious and valuable like people like you are doing reaction videos, like, and he even said like, you're experiencing someone else's first time hearing something that you've worked so hard on, and it's just that it makes it even more rewarding than just like, oh hey, here's our new song, and people say hey, it's cool, you know. You get to see someone react to like a sick chorus that you wrote, you know, like the chorus for Hollow, and people heard that and they're like, oh man, you know, that just made me feel like, okay, I did something decent.
Yeah, you know? Dude, for sure. That's awesome, man. I love hearing that, because again, I love doing them. I always love asking the artists like what they think of like reaction videos, and they always seem to be really positive. So I love that, dude. Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate that, dude. Thank you. So. All right, dude. We're gonna do just some quick lightning round questions, and then we'll have you plug your stuff, and then we'll get you to bed, dude. Because I know how it feels to be 29 and have to stay up this late. So I get that, dude.
Yeah.
So I just got a few questions.
At least you can relate.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Absolutely, dude. I'm usually like, I just went on a trip with my friends, like last weekend, and we were up so late, dude. I usually go to bed at like 9. We were up to like almost like midnight playing like Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh yeah.
I was like, dude, I gotta go to bed. I can't handle this anymore. Yeah. Dude. I'm so tired, dude.
It gets to a point where you just feel your body hurting, you know.
Yeah,
like,
you're
I'm too old for this.
Yeah, and I'm like falling asleep, and like my neck hurts, and I'm like, I gotta go to the bed, dude. I'm so tired, dude. Yeah, so I was like, that's hilarious, dude. But yeah, dude, we'll go ahead and we'll just pop these off really quick, and you can go in as much detail or whatever you want to. If you want to make them a quick one, absolutely. So, what is your favorite artist that's outside of metal?
Outside of metal, probably. I'll go even further. Probably Justin Bieber. I enjoy me some Justin Bieber, man.
Brother, let me tell you, I love him too, dude. I don't care what people say. I don't like his old stuff, but dude, his new stuff, man.
That Justice album is incredible.
It's the best, dude. I don't know why people still dog on him. Like, dude, his music's great. I love it, dude. That's,
you know, and I was one of those kids too back when, you know, I was 16. Baby, like, Justin Bieber stuff. Yeah. Like. Even now, like, Baby, I don't put Baby on to jam it, you know?
No, never.
But you can't deny that, especially like you said, his newer stuff, like Purpose, that album was great. But dude, Justice is really, like, I feel like he found the right team, the right songs. I mean, it's just so good, you know?
Dude,
I was going to say Blink-182, obviously, but, like, I wanted to go further than that, because, like, obviously Blink-182 is, like, you know.
For sure, dude. That's awesome. Yeah, dude. I listen to a lot of... do you listen to, like, Khalid? You ever heard of him? He's like an R&B.
Oh, yeah. The Khalid's great.
Dude, R&B, dude. It's funny. People are like, what else do you listen to besides metal? I'm like, dude, I listen to a lot of, like, R&B stuff. It's like, whoa. Like, slow jam music? I'm like, you know it, man. Absolutely, dude.
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude. Super sick. Okay. 3 bands that you would like to tour with, and it doesn't matter if you're headlining or opening, however you want to do it. 3 bands that you would love to tour with.
I gotta say, Day to Remember.
I would love that.
Because they were the first. They were the first like heavy band that I really like fell in love with. I mean, Absolutely. They changed my whole view on music.
Yeah.
The Amity Affliction is another soft spot of mine in metal.
Dude, their new music has been really good. Been really sick.
It's been crazy, yeah. And I mean, and Joel, their screamer as a lyricist, is a big inspiration of mine.
Yeah.
And kind of helping me. That was like, getting even deeper into like the mental health and stuff like that. He was really the first lyricist, like him talking about like literally like attempting suicide and stuff like that. I was like,
right,
this dude's been through it, and I mean, he's coming out and telling you how it is. He was just this real dude talking about real things. And so yeah, Day to Remember, Amity Affliction. I mean, I don't want to say Blink-182 because that's too safe. You know what I mean? Honestly, I would love to tour with I Prevail. I mean, obviously, because I know the dudes.
Yeah.
And that's always been like a goal of mine since we first played with them. Was like I got to tour with them, because at that time they were still like small, and in essence they were blowing up, but they weren't on the magnitude that they are now. Obviously, playing arenas and stuff like that. Like
yeah, that would be so cool, dude. If that ever happens, I will make sure to come see you guys, and please somehow get me back there so I can say hi to you.
I'll make sure you're on the guest list if it happens.
Dude, that would be sick, dude. But yeah, dude, I mean, really quick with I Prevail, like, I know a lot of people dog on them because they say they're like generic metalcore, but it's like, dude, they're the biggest band in the scene that can play breakdowns and like fill arenas. So I'm like, I don't know. People can complain all they want. It doesn't seem to matter. So I'm like, dude, and I think they're sick. Their new album, True Power, was like my number 3 album of like last year. I thought it was terrific.
Yeah,
I thought
it was great, dude.
Yeah, it was so good.
It was just a great follow up to Trauma. Trauma still, I mean, holds a special place in my heart.
Yeah,
with how good it was. It's just, I mean, but. Yeah, I think touring with them would be just a great time, honestly.
That would be so sick, dude. Really, really cool. Okay, favorite food when you're on tour? I watched your Bus Invader thing, so I assume, I'm going to guess, what about some Taco Bell? Is that what we like to eat?
Dude, I had Taco Bell on the way up here last night, actually. Dude,
I love
double
Taco
steak.
Bell. Yeah,
double steak grilled cheese burrito has changed my life.
It's so good.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, dude. And not to be too TMI, but some people are like, it always gives me diarrhea. I've never gotten diarrhea from Taco Bell. I love it, dude. I never get it. Dude.
And dude, I get stomach pains from eating an apple, so I just embrace it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm at that age where anything gives me heartburn.
Yeah,
and
dude. Yeah, man.
You roll with the punches,
Heck yeah, dude, absolutely, man. But would you say Taco Bell is your favorite thing to eat, or is there something on the road that you like to they like to eat?
Honestly, I mean, Taco Bell's always a go-to, but
totally
the thing that we've always gone to, me and Alec, our guitar player singer, always like split a Little Caesars pizza. Dude, the hot and ready like $5 pizza.
Absolutely,
dude. It's for $5. I think it's a pretty good pizza. I mean, it's not like something that. Yeah. Mike Portnoy from Barstool Sports would, give a 9, But to me, it's for $5. It's ready when you need it. Dude, it's a good pizza, and it's especially for like a touring band. I mean, you're paying what, $3 each? Like, that's a whole meal.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. Yeah, Little Caesars is hype, dude. That's good, man. Or one of mine would probably like Jimmy John's or something. Do you like sandwiches? Like Jimmy John's?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I love subs.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Good choices though, dude. Super sick. Okay, favorite movie. Or a favorite movie?
Oh man, there's so many. Like people ask me this stuff, and I'm like,
I'm curious to see what yours going to be. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what you say. Sometimes I agree with a lot of people, so I'm curious to see what you'll say.
Dude, I always go back to. This probably shows my age a little bit, but Wayne's World to me is just one of the best movies of all time.
Yeah, man.
I was still pretty young. Obviously, I think it came out in like '93 or '94. So like I was born in '94, but my siblings growing up watched it, and the older I get, like the funnier to me it gets. Absolutely. And it's just like it's almost like a comfort movie. You know what I mean? You watch it, and it makes me feel nostalgic and all that. So. Yeah, I mean, anytime someone mentions like favorite movie, like that's the first thing that pops in my head. So I guess that's just my answer.
That's a good answer, dude. That's a good one. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Favorite video game if you play video games. If you don't, it's okay.
Well, I'm not going to say Guitar Hero because we talked about that enough. But
I mean, you could say guitar. That's okay. If it is, that's all good. That's all good, man.
So I bought Xbox 360.
Okay.
Back in, it was a couple years after it came out,
right.
But I bought it for 2 games, and those 2 games are Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2. And I'm not a gamer, but those zombie games were the funniest. They're the funnest things to play.
Yeah, dude.
And I still love playing those games.
Awesome, dude.
That's
super cool.
I'd probably have to say that.
Cool. Very, very cool, dude. All right, so here is the last one. I'm very curious to see what you would say. If you don't have an answer for it, it's completely fine. I just think it's kind of a cool conversation point here. But so if music was not your career, like let's say this is just, if you weren't doing it here, what would you want to do? Obviously, I know you wouldn't want to do FedEx, but what is something that what is something that you would want to do if you weren't doing music? And if you don't know, that's completely fine. If your music is it, that's it, dude. I love that too.
Growing up, there's always those questions of what do we want to be when you grow up?
Yeah.
One of the things that always fascinated me growing up was weather. I've always wanted to be a meteorologist when I was younger.
Okay.
That was even into high school. I thought doing meteorology, the study of weather and the atmosphere and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I love, storm chasing and stuff like that. I think that stuff's so cool because anytime I hear there's severe weather and stuff, I love thunderstorms and all that. So cool. Meteorology would probably be, I couldn't do it, but if I was smart enough to do it, if I was smart enough to learn that, I would do that.
That's super cool. I didn't expect that answer. That's why I love doing that question because it's always interesting to hear. Because again, we all bond over the music, but it's what would they do if they weren't doing music? So that's actually really cool, man. I love that. So, and again, dude, I really quick, and I'm gonna give you the spotlight here a little bit so you can plug your stuff. I want to say from the bottom of my heart, dude. Thanks so much for coming on. I know we've been trying to do this for a while. I know you've been really busy, so I appreciate you taking time. I know you're recording right now, you're in a hotel room and making time for me to have a conversation. So it really does mean a lot to me, dude. So I want to pass on to you.
Problem, man.
Yeah, dude, I appreciate it, man. I do want to pass on to you here. Whatever you want to plug, for your music, I'm going to give this time to you and then we'll wrap things up, dude.
Yeah, well, before I begin, I want to thank you, obviously, for having me on. It's been a blast, bro.
Yeah.
It doesn't, I don't even know how long it's been. It could have been a couple hours, and I don't know. It's just
man,
a blast talking to you.
Thanks.
But yeah, new Execution Day music is coming out. Flourish. By the time this gets published, Flourish is going to be out, and it's a song that we're very proud of. The music video is probably one of my favorites we've done. It just hits that nostalgia factor of the song is about missing the good old days of your youth, and missing just that feeling of being young and carefree. And it's a great song. I'm excited for everything that we have planned for it coming out. There's a lot of cool stuff that we have lined up already for it. New album this year, I would say.
Heck yeah,
that's very much going to be,
and
it's going to be our first full length. We have 2 EPs out there, but this is going to be 11 or so songs that really just drive it home,
Oh, dude, so sick, man. We're excited, dude. I know. I think a lot of people are going to be really excited. Again, the momentum you guys are having, I think people are just going to be more hyped, dude. So, dude, I sincerely, again, want to thank you so much for coming on, dude. And I want to thank everybody here for listening to the Chandler Burton podcast. And again, always remember that you are loved. Make sure you go check out Execution Day. They're awesome. Definitely check out, Hollow's a good one. Consumed, Suffocate. They're all great. But make sure you keep an eye out for new music here. And again, Dylan, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you.
Dude, I love you, man. It's been real. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, dude. Much love, brother.